our cooking demo. This is more of a stirring demo because I think it's important, especially as learning as new cooks or even in busy schedules, that we have something we can just whip up really quickly. And so today we're doing a pumpkin mousse. For the season, of course, you know, pumpkin is very popular right now, this time of year, but also it's loaded in fiber. It has a little bit of sugar, but not a whole lot, and it certainly doesn't have added sugar, so we can control those things. So today we're going to make a pumpkin mousse that you can use in a variety of ways. I cut up some apples, and you can use the apples to dip into this pumpkin mousse and turn it into a dip. I put it on pancakes. I make a healthy pancake almost every morning, and I put that on there, or you can actually just eat it like a dessert. But what's cool about this recipe is that you don't have to have a lot of fancy equipment. And really, when you're starting out in your own kitchen, just some basics are important. A decent cutting board, it doesn't have to be super fancy. A sharp knife. This is mine from home. I use it pretty often. And my husband always makes sure it's sharp. The thing is with a sharp knife is that you're less likely to injure yourself with a sharp knife. A dull knife can be very dangerous. And then having wet paper towels or a damp kitchen towel to put underneath your cutting board so it doesn't move around and slide around so you don't injure yourself. Basic cooking tools is having a food thermometer to test your proteins to make sure that they're at a proper temperature. And then a basic can opener and a whisk, a bowl, a set of measuring cups. That's a great place to start, okay? So today we are not cooking, we are stirring. So we're making our pumpkin mousse with 2 dairy ingredients and then this high fiber protein puree. So we've got whipped cream, we've got pumpkin, we've got yogurt, we've got Greek vanilla yogurt, so that's going to replace some of our sugar. We don't have to add a whole lot. With brown sugar, we have vanilla emulsion. Vanilla emulsion is very much like vanilla extract. This is my preference to use emulsion because it's not as watery, but it's a little harder to find, so vanilla extract is just fine, or whatever flavor you prefer. And then we have some pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice is a blend of clove, cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger, okay? So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna start with the pumpkin, and that we're just gonna add 1 can of pumpkin. This is 15 ounces of pumpkin puree, 100% squash pumpkin puree. And then this is our 8 ounces of vanilla Greek yogurt that we're gonna add to our pumpkin. And we're gonna stir that up real well. We are gonna put that whipped topping in very last because we want it to hold that form and that fluffiness at the very end. So you could use a small hand mixer with this, but I want to be really careful with it and fold it in so it holds its texture. And some people may have food fears based on food textures. So here's brown sugar. We're only using 1/4 cup. You could use less. You could use a sugar alternative. As a teenager, I had a diabetic sister, and we use a version of kind of like the brown sugar swerve that's sugar-free. We would make an ice cream pie very much like this during the holidays. And so this to me is very much like that. It's not ice cream, it's not a pie, but it can be used in place of. So we added in our brown sugar, only 1/4 cup. Again, you can adjust that as needed. And so we're gonna stir that real well, and we're gonna add our vanilla emulsion or your extract, and then our spices, okay? So if you don't have pumpkin spice or you don't use it, or maybe there's something in that blend, ginger, clove, nutmeg, and cinnamon, maybe something in there you don't like, you can add your own, okay? So we'll give this a quick stir. This is really easy. All you have to do is put it in the refrigerator and get it cold, and then you can serve it. All right, so here's our last thing. This is our whipped topping. And you can see from the products that I picked today is I used a light whipped topping. You could use regular whipped topping. You could use fat-free whipped topping. But for the sake of just kind of controlling those sugars in our recipe and making it a little more fiber friendly, protein friendly with a little bit lower sugar content, I think, was the goal here. And so it starts to get really fluffy. I don't want to overmix it, but I'm just going to stir it in real well, and then we can eat it right away. We can put it in the fridge. We could serve it again in so many different ways. So, high fiber, high protein, and then fairly low sugar, and we can even reduce that further if we needed to, but we're controlling added sugars today. So this is a great opportunity to throw in those apple slices or honey grams or something like that. And so I'm going to share it with some of my friends today, and it's an easy, quick go-to.